So my father got me for my birthday, and it just showed up a lockbox cable. Okay, I'm guessing that's for this box, so you can't just run off with it. He said it wasn't something that's going to stop necessarily a theft of a handgun, but, you know, it should be hard to get into for kids and probably even some adults, as he said, because, you know, how people are kind of stupid. So it's not necessarily a theft deterrent, but it depends where I place it on my nightstand, bed, wall back there, maybe even that wall down low or something. I don't know. I'm going to see exactly, maybe under the bed. I don't know exactly how it works. You have to do a combination with the finger thing. And yeah, we're going to take a look at this. So this is the StopBox HRD. I guess it's just hard molded plastic, he said. Probably, I don't know if it's something like the case for the Springfield, but yeah, we're going to take a look. Here's the SKU number if you want to look this up. It says it's made in the USA, so at least that's good, I suppose. So let's have a look. Okay, so I took the plastic off, and this is what we have. You open it up. Don't forget to push down. So it kind of shows so you got to push down to. So we're going to have to see how I can mount this or not mount it. I don't know. The combination is index, pinky, then thumb. So index, pinky. So index, pinky, thumb. Okay. We'll keep this to the side, and apparently there's also a quick start video. And unlocking it, specifications, locking, troubleshooting, maintenance, changing the combination. Okay, please refer to instruction video if you need to change the combination. But here's the dimensions for people that want to know that, and the weight. So being plastic, yeah, it's pretty light. Attention, prior to using the StopBox, you must fully read and comply with all instructions and warnings of the product in the instructions manual. The StopBox is intended for retaining firearms, and failure to fully read and comply with all instructions and warnings of this product could result in a firearm falling into the hands of someone other than the owner, such as a child or unwanted guest. And that's the idea behind this. Maybe this would be a little more secure. My father thought this would be better than he realized, because I guess he bought himself one too. But he had already bought it, and more old school, instead of, you know, maybe sending it back, he's like, yeah, whatever. So I got to open this. So index, pinky, thumb. Or no, you have to do all. Index, pinky, thumb. I don't know if I could do this on video. My mistake. You got to go all at once. I thought because they put it as index, pinky, then thumb, because the word then thumb, as if you would go in order, right? So what you actually do is all at once and push down. And of course, I can't do this, but the buttons now do go in. So hold on a second. We'll see. We'll push down and open. I just had to use my other hand to hold it. So this is what the inside looks like. That's, I guess, the mechanism there. Okay, you can see it's just plastic. So if somebody really wants to get in here, obviously they're going to get in here. This ain't going to keep your firearm, you know. I don't know exactly what my father was thinking for this. Fits all snap safe metal lockbox models, as well as many other brands. He probably thought it would somehow connect in, and I don't see any way to connect it in. So it's literally just a box. So I guess it's one step up from this, right? So one hand, I could open that quicker than I'd have to find this key. So once you find your key where you placed it, then on this type, you know, you can Go like that, and I'll definitely need two hands to get the cable out. At least this way, you know, well, it's not chambered, right? So we're good there. And to do the slide, I obviously needed two hands, so did that quickly off camera. And yeah, so here's the gun, unloaded, unchambered. Well, does it fit in here? That will be the key. Ooh, it's gonna be a tight one for this. Might want to cut out. Yeah, there's a picture here. No, they just showed that's like a 9, isn't it? That's just squishing down. Let's see. Does it squish down? Yeah, but I mean, yeah, you can't get in there. There's a lip in there, so it is fully shut. So that would be fully shut. Now, what's the best way to mount this if I wanted it mounted? So need that. I need my right hand. Oh man, yeah, see, like I don't mind putting a hole in here, right, and mounting it somehow. If I wanted it on the bed, that's not going to be able to do because that's the door. I mean, I suppose if I just wanted to mount it right to the bottom shelf here, I could do that in a way. And I would have to figure out what, and it might not look good because I might have to figure out like what direction. Oh wait, we do have a hole down here for like a cable. Let's open her back up. Okay, folks, so I took out this after realizing there was a spot on here because it wasn't that clear to me at the time. But there's a spot right down there that you just slide the cable in. So this snap safe lock box cable does work. And I guess the idea is, you know, I'll loop it through. Like I guess I would go around maybe that leg or something, you know, up probably high, so you couldn't just slide it off the bottom, although our bed's heavy. So picking up our bed, a thief ain't quickly doing, but this would stop a kid walking away from it or a thief, right? And our daughter's good. She knows about guns, gun safety. She knows not to play with them. She knows they're dangerous, right? So I'm not going to load, but so that would go in there, and that should work. The Springfield 45 just barely, just barely fits. Okay, but it does fit. I will have to test with the magazine, but it does fit, and that's how the cable. So it's just basically stopping somebody from walking away. So it is an upgrade from this. I would say it's just as, at least it keeps it to the room, right? Because the thief might not be able to figure out where tools are or have time to get the tools just to steal this. And at least they're like, they're stuck to the general area, right? And they'll probably just leave. So you probably even keep, you know, a few bucks. But if they really want it in here, they're going to get into this. I'm pretty sure they will get into this. And if they really wanted, there's the hinges. And that's all you have to break. Obviously, I have a house full of tools in the garage, but you know, thieves are trying to hurry. They're trying to ransack. They're going for easy stuff. Not easy. They might just leave it and be like, whatever, you know, it's not worth trying to get it. Yes, it's a weapon, but well, I guess you could feel that. Yes, there's a weapon. I would still rather, personally, and these are the rubber feet, so it's made to sit on something, like sit here or maybe sit on my shelf. And that's probably, honestly, I would probably personally put it under my shelf. If you're wondering what the red cable is, it's my phone for at night, so I always charge my phone in here. I'd probably put that underneath the bottom on the floor with the carpet. That way it's really out of sight, out of mind. Somebody comes in here and even if they do see it, then they find out, hey, it's attached to the bed. Oh, it's attached to the main part between the frame, so you can't just slide it off. Yeah, they're probably going to just leave it, right? They're not going to sit around. Maybe they'll try to bash it or something. I don't know how sturdy, but as long as it withstands a little bit of beating, like I said, people are in and out for thieves when they're breaking in. They're not like hanging around, right? Unlike the movies, it's not high-end robberies where they're like, oh, I'm going to get into this safe. If the safe is locked, that's going to deter them. Why? Because, man, all it's going to take is the neighbor will be like, hey, I hear something. And we live in a decent place where the neighbors will probably report something fishy, you know, and we have a dog, and the dog's usually here. So mainly I'm getting this just for not my kid, but for other people's kids, right? They come over, they're visiting. You got somebody that's more of a troublemaker saying, hey, your dad has a gun. Oh, hey. And shouldn't be in our room. I never went into other people's rooms, but kids nowadays, you don't know, right? So at least this way, it's locked up. And I always had this, but at least now I think it's probably one up of that. So if I had to rate your safety of your gun as far as theft and that, it's one up from just having my magazine lock. I forget what these are called, but having that, this is the one that came with it, the XD one. Same thing. They don't really do too much, you know. Again, it's just stopping a child from taking this, inserting it, and I would love to see a small child then be able to actually, you know, chamber around. That, I don't know, it's hard for me to do, let alone a child. Especially when you have a girl. I don't think it's not that easy. But yeah, we'll see. I'll see what else fits in there. I'll go ahead and load a magazine, and we'll see. Another thing I want to point out real quick is, now that I have it open, that's what is attaching. There's a point there. So it's going into here, that way, and into here. It's not much going into there, and sadly, that's not metal. That's also plastic. It would have been nice if maybe these attachment points within were metal, maybe molded into the plastic, and maybe this mechanism was metal. But then again, some plastics can be pretty dang strong, but that's how that works. So it is what it is, I guess. Again, I think it's one up from the cable lock going through, so you can't, you know, load a magazine and chamber around. But let's see if the magazine's fit. So I got the magazine in, and I got a spare one here. I'm kind of wondering, you could probably drop something into there. It's kind of wasted space. It's probably reinforcing the case. There is this lip, which I didn't first notice. So you got to make sure the gun is in there. 45 Springfield, and it's fitting. Looks like it's fitting with one extra. So you got one magazine loaded in here, one magazine here. You could probably fit some extra stuff or some cash if you wanted into that spot, or extra loose bullets, or if your gun uses a smaller magazine, I guess you could put one there. But here we go. And let's see, does it shut? Let's go ahead. Okay, oh, I gotta see. Maybe that needs to be slid up some. Okay. Yeah, gun just needed to be shifted up just a tad, so you can't go right to that border for whatever reason. But that locked both. It's now locked. With the gun in there, it's easier to open too. It didn't take two hands. It's, you know, I'll probably not keep this combination, but there we have it. You just open it like that, and obviously you need more of an adult size hand, hence why a kid couldn't just press all those at once to open it. And again, I'll shut it. Okay, well, this box works out really well. I'm going to get it hooked up, and that's going to be my thing, but hook it up however you need to hook it up or you think is safe. Maybe you could probably drill through the bottom here, put with some washers and deck screws or something, and mount that in a way like out of the way type thing, and it would be more fixed. And maybe you could still also do the cable, that way somebody comes and tries to grab it. But I think this way would probably in theory work. It is pretty heavy with a 45 with, you know, 2 magazines full. You know, just trying to move this around. Well, one hand it is pretty heavy, 2 hands I guess it wouldn't be that bad. But I don't know, you know, how secure. I do think this is a step up from this method over here, but it's definitely not a big safe. But it's not as clumsy as a big safe where I have to, you know, enter a code, or it might not be in the same room as me because, well, you know, usually night times where I worry. We have a dog. I'm not worried about the daytime typically. I mean, we live in luckily a good area. I would say, you know, you have to take where you live into account, right? Do you need something that's just out? Maybe you don't even have kids. Maybe you carry every day and the gun you leave out is the one you carry, and you can just easily leave it on the side of your bed because, well, you have no kids, you have no people in your house, likelihood of theft because it's only there when you're in bed. Then okay, so take your circumstances into consideration. Maybe you need a bigger you know, safe to actually put it in, but then think about how quick you can get into that safe. Where's that safe going to be located? Is it going to be located where my hamper is in that corner, for example? Is it going to be in the room? Am I going to be able to wake up and get to it, or come to this room and get to it? You know, that's up to you to decide. It's not a one-size-fits-all solution. So this right now fits my needs, although I would still like to look for something in time that is bigger and can be used for valuables, guns, you know, titles and stuff like that, keep important stuff in, maybe even fire rated, and then maybe something that's a little more secure that can be mounted up under the bed. And I would show you under the bed, but I'm sure it's really dirty. We have cats and I bet a lot of toys under there. And but it's a sleep number bed, so it's a plastic. This part is plastic for the box spring, and it's hollow up through there. So you could easily mount something, come up with something and mount it up in there, you know, where you would get on the floor. If you're not a real big guy, I can pretty much put my body under there and I could grab something. That would be something else too. So your circumstances might be different than my circumstances, and you might be able to leave something out more so than what I'm willing to leave out. Like, I'm okay with my kid, like with this. She ain't gonna do anything. Other people's kids is what I'm kind of worried about, and this is a step up. Now, they might be willing to like try playing with it, but you know, I'm home. I would hear somebody in this room. I don't know. If she ever has a friend that I catches in the room, then probably put a lock on the door and keep the door locked, or I will want to get something better. But I'm not then worried just about that. I'm worried about other valuables, jewelry, watches, all that good stuff. So hopefully this helped you out, gave you an idea, and showed you, oh, there's the kitty cat, and showed you, laying on the foam, showed you the StopBox HRD handgun retention device. See, they're not calling it a safe, they're calling it a retention device. It's just going to kind of keep it there and out of hands, and that's why it has rubber feet, so you could just keep it up on the dresser. Maybe I'll just keep it up there. You know, wrap this cable around. I could wrap it around the leg there. You can't slide it off, and it's right here. And with the gun on it, it kind of gives some pressure. So I don't have to push down. So I can like literally open that right up, and I can click it. I like that. And honestly, if you're not opening that on and off all the time, you know, the plastic bits will probably be fine for a long time. So anyways, hopefully you like this video. It's been too long. Please like, subscribe, and check out my other videos. Have a good one. Bye.